This is part 5 in a series From the Pits of Hell and Back to Love. When I finished the last segment, I was speaking about coming out of my marriage, getting a divorce, and trying to find myself. It didn't happen quite that soon because I stepped out of a marriage into another relationship, which was another one of my fiascos. It lasted another 3 years. So there I am, continuing to wander around in dismay, continuing to be confused, continuing to not be the happy being that I sought to be, and continuing to seek after love in all the wrong places. However, it did not take me long to recognize it wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't getting where I wanted to go. Even through all my meditations, walks, and internal conversations, I still was not where I needed to be in a love relationship. So I made up my mind, once again, to close the door on a toxic relationship. Only this time I decided that I was going to continue my journey of self-awareness and my journey to self-healing and restoration. And I was going to do this without being involved in a love relationship because I felt this was the only way to truly come in contact with myself. This was a long and arduous process. As a matter of fact, I'm still in the process of it, even as we speak. Because during this process, I had to go back and face some really, really difficult times in my life. I had to go back to my early childhood, which is where I say most of us get our lifelong theme for living. It's where we pick up on the negative aspects of our lives. It's where we learn who we are, or at least the information that is passed on to us. We allow that information to be taken into our psyches, and we live according to what we've learned. And that's what happened to me. As I said, early in childhood, very early on, I heard some things that were really negative about me as a person, and it wasn't what people said, it was the way they acted or reacted towards me that made me feel somehow I did not belong, and somehow I was less than, and somehow I wasn't worthy. Well, this predicated a lifelong journey of feeling unworthy no matter what I was doing, no matter what relationship I was involved in. Then to further exacerbate that, to endure the turmoil of being molested as a child, that did not make my life any easier either. That just only added fuel to the fire, and it created another rung for me to try to unravel. And so thus began my journey. At the age of 31, I just decided I'm going to go in search of this person whom I know exists, because there's a lot of love in my heart, and I want to be able to share this love with someone and to have the same thing come back to me. I want to be loved, and I want to love. That shouldn't be too hard to find, right? Well, up until this point, it had been. So it was as a matter of this journey that I started that I really began to get to know who I was. And the first part of that journey was forgiveness. I had to forgive those who had hurt me, knowingly and unknowingly. I had to forgive myself, first of all, for holding on to this anguish, this pain, this death sentence. I had to forgive myself for not loving myself, and I had to forgive myself for allowing myself to be used and abused. And then I had to forgive those people who had caused this intrepidation in my life. I had to literally forgive them from the depths of my soul, not in their presence, but in their absence. And once I was able to do this, something shifted within me. Something happened within my beingness that I can't even explain. There was a shift, if you will. There was a shift in my conscious mind, but also in my conscious energy. Each morning I'd get up and I'd walk at the ocean. I'd walk in the evenings All this time I would be meditating and just being one with nature and allowing myself to soak up and to absorb all that the universe was saying to me so that I could get myself to that place of healing. And there I was in the midst of this journey, in the midst of teaching and lecturing and doing seminars and retreats with women. My healing came as a result of giving myself away to them. As a result of being available to listen to their concerns and to address concerns that I had, I received my healing. I came to that place where I was having a love affair with myself. I came to that place where I could accept everything that had happened in my life up until that point. I came to that place where I loved me. I just simply loved everything about me. I loved all my challenges. I loved all my shortcomings. I loved all my faults. Because I realized in that moment that without everything that had happened in my life, I would not have been the magnificent human being that I had become. Yes, it was a struggle. Yes, there were many long, dreary nights, heartaches, heartbreaks. There were many tears that were shed behind poor relationship choices. But I had learned to release myself from them, to set my soul free so that it could get love. And the only way that I could get the love that my heart desired, I had to become the love that I sought. I had to fall madly in love with myself, whom up until that point, I didn't feel that she was lovable. I didn't feel that she deserved love. And I certainly was not opening my heart to get that love. Why? Out of fear. Fear of being rejected, fear of being hurt, fear of being taken advantage of, and all the other numerous things and reasons why fear can absolutely paralyze our lives. I hung out there under them for way too long. But then when I got myself on the journey to wholeness and to healing, things began to change. My life opened up to me. The life that had always been there for me, by the way. But I had just not been available to it. It opened up to me. And I began to write. Again, lecturing, teaching, all the things that I love to do. I began to do them with ease. I began to do them effortlessly. I began to do them full of joy and enthusiasm for life. There was a light that was shining in me that was so bright. It was attracting people to me wherever I went. And I know that that was the light of love that had come back on inside of me, that had long since been dimmed. But now it was shining bright, so bright that no matter where I went, it was drawing people. And that is my return to love. But that's not all. It did not end there. There's more. And I will come back and share with you what I call the greatest love story of all times. Stay tuned.